What's all the fuss with all the wooden materials? Is it just for the Instagram aesthetic? Is it just a way for companies to make more money? Or is there something really behind utilizing wooden materials in your child's play space? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maria and I'm a first-time mom navigating motherhood while introducing Montessori to my baby girl. Well, it's been amazing to see Montessori really become trendy and popular on Instagram and Facebook, and all of these subscription boxes pop up that will send you Montessori activities or Montessori-inspired toys. I think it's also left a lot of parents with questions of what Montessori is and is not, as well as how do I effectively implement Montessori in my home. So I decided to start this new series on my channel called Montessori FAQs to hopefully give you some quick insights that you need to really implement this method effectively in your home. Now, a question I see time and time again is why wood? Why are so many of the activities in a Montessori environment wood? Do I need to get rid of everything that is a non-wooden activity in my house now? And can I not implement Montessori if I don't have the resources to buy all of these wooden activities for my child? If you've ever had the pleasure of walking into a Montessori classroom or home, you will notice right away that it is extremely calming, peaceful, beautiful, and inviting. And that is exactly what Dr. Montessori had envisioned, something that would encourage and invite the child to explore the materials on their shelves independently. So while there are a lot of beautiful, fun, and interesting toys on the market now that are flashy and bright and colorful, in the end, these are overstimulating for the child, and something that is simple and beautiful and wooden is going to draw their attention time and time again because there are endless ways for them to explore this material. It's not going to tire them out as quickly as the plastic, loud, and flashy toys. Not only is wood beautiful, it is also stimulating to the child in the appropriate ways. So while you may have a battery-operated toy that sings and talks and moves around for your child, it is doing all the work for the child. It is not encouraging the child to explore with his or her senses. Something as simple as this activity is not only going to help the child learn how to grab something, take it off, then put it back on. It's also letting the child explore the different temperatures of the wood, as the wood takes on the temperature of its environment a lot more effectively than something like plastic does. It also provides a variety of textures to feel, so this finished wood versus this unfinished wood is going to have different feel. It's also providing a lot more interesting patterns to look at versus the smooth plastic, because if you look at wood, it will always have beautiful grain. Even a wooden material that is painted is still going to have texture and grain coming through from the paint, and going to be a lot more pleasing and inviting for the child to look at. And the final sensory exploration that we can't miss is the weight of the wood. So plastic is typically hollow, so even if you have a big plastic item versus a small plastic item, it will feel almost identical to the child. Whereas with wood, the larger the item, the more dense it is, the heavier it is. So when a child is working with something as simple as this egg in a cup, for example, not only are they practicing again their motor skills, they're also seeing the beautiful pattern on the egg and on the cup. They also feel the difference between this solid piece of wood that is quite heavy versus this more hollow piece of wood that is more light. And this is providing a lot of the building blocks that children need for later math and science skills without us having to sit there and drill it into them. And this exploration is something that is simply not possible with things like plastic. Wooden activities and wooden toys also tend to be a lot simpler, meaning that there's a lot more exploration and a lot more extensions that you can build on the activity. So simply by being a lot more simple, there's actually a lot more complex discoveries that the child can make with an activity. Again, if we take something like a simple plastic phone that opens and closes, and if you press the buttons, it will make noise and flash lights at the child. That is really all the exploration that the child has with it. Whereas again, if we take something as simple as this toy, there's a lot more exploration that the child can do in not only removing these, but also trying to stack them together and seeing what happens if they knock them over. They might also build them in a row to make a link. They may also later take something like their play scarves and thread them through. So there's a lot more exploration that can happen with something simpler, and it encourages the child to use their imagination a lot more and to keep discovering and experimenting. While it may not seem like it, a lot of Montessori activities are really the building blocks of scientific and mathematical explorations. Now, the Montessori method is also very environmentally conscious. It encourages the child to explore nature, to interact with nature, and to make choices that are going to have a positive impact on nature. If you've had the pleasure of visiting a true Montessori school, you will notice that they often strive to have a large outdoor environment for the child to explore. You will also see a lot of Montessori schools and parents take a lot of nature walks, which allows the child to really explore and appreciate nature. Another way we can do this inside the home is again by utilizing natural materials. So Dr. Montessori really wanted the child to learn to appreciate nature from the very beginning, even from inside the home, inside the classroom, while interacting with these materials, the child learns about wood, about nature, and about respecting the environment that we are in. Another way that wood is then environmentally friendly is obviously in the way that it is sourced, and the fact that even if it does end up in a landfill, it is going to be biodegradable. Another way that Montessori materials are environmentally friendly is obviously in the fact that they are durable. Wood is going to withstand the test of time, just like the Montessori principle is going to withstand the test of time. So in purchasing something that is made of wood, you are making an investment up front, but you're saving money long term because this is something that can stay in your family for generations to come. Now, aside from being durable, wood is also naturally antibacterial. And if this comes as news to you, I'll leave some research articles down below that you can check out to get a full understanding of why that is. But that is also why we use wood for cutting boards, because it is going to be naturally a lot of a cleaner item to be using. So in utilizing wooden materials, you're not only avoiding the toxic that can leach out of plastic toys while your child is mouthing them, you're also giving them something that is naturally antibacterial and going to be a lot cleaner for them to be putting in their mouth, to be touching and exploring in multiple ways. Now that we know why Montessori environment utilizes wood, where does that leave you if you can't afford a budget for all of these wooden materials? Are you not able to implement it effectively? Well, I would say if we've got the two extremes of giving your child an iPad and having them passively overstimulated versus taking a cardboard box and repurposing it to be an object permanence box, the latter is definitely a better option. You're still giving something to your child that is not overstimulating, it's still going to let them actively explore, and it's going to give them a lot of the benefits that a wooden object permanence box would have. I would just say don't forget the fact that Montessori materials are designed to be beautiful. So if you're repurposing an old cereal box, for example, to make your object permanence box, take some construction paper or a simple wrapping paper that is a very simple color and use that to finish off the object permanence box, and that way the child is not focused on all of the random colors and all of the random patterns, but still focused on the box as it was intended to be used. So if you're able to DIY the Montessori materials and you can't afford to be purchasing wooden materials every month for your child, that's still a very effective option for you. Now, what about items that you may already have that your child likes and uses that are not wooden? What do you do with them now? Obviously, if you're in a home environment, remember that you are in your home, and while your child may benefit more from utilizing wooden materials to work with, there's nothing wrong with them having a chance to explore other toys that they already have, especially if they're things that they already love. But moving forward, you may be more conscious about what kind of activities and toys you're purchasing for your child, and just making sure that they have a good balance of both. And that's a scoop on everything related to wood in a Montessori environment. And if you've got other questions that you'd like me to tackle for this Montessori FAQs section, definitely let me know in the comments below. And until next time, I hope you stay safe.